One, 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 two. Mic check. 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay. Be here. I'm in the building, man. Let me throw this out here, man. It's gonna be one of those days. We putting the disclaimers up real early on this one. Get this going here. Gonna get right into this right here. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's your host, Ace World, aka Mr. Smoke, coming to you live with another episode of Sunday Night Smoke Podcast. Give it up, give it up. This is doing a little something different this time. Okay. This is kind of like a rant opposed to like a podcast, or what can I say? Give my opinion. So I'm gonna give my opinion because this is what I do, right? I'm gonna give my opinion on this right here. This is what I do. This is what I do best. You know what I'm saying? So if you're not sure what an opinion is, pause it and read it. You know, it comes with the usual disclaimer package that we roll with here. But in the bag today, we got the wide world of SIMPS. Okay. Death of the PUA. Okay. I'm going to use certain terms and abbreviations throughout this stream that might get past some of you if you don't really watch videos in a quote-unquote YouTube area called the manosphere. Okay. But PUA, for example, stands for pickup artist. Okay. Pickup artist, PUA. But I'll do a reference guide after the rant. So without further ado, let me roll into the epilogue of this. You got a community within the YouTube community, because you have several communities. You have the gaming community, the this, the that. You know, you got communities just like you got Facebook groups. But in particular, you have travel group. Okay, because there's a little back and forth going on here. Travel group, as in black men traveling to see the world, exploring options, entertainment, culture, etc., etc. And they seem to be under a lot of scrutiny from some of the other communities, such as the PUA community, like the dating community, dating coaches, the sisterhood, as far as the women in the community. These guys are receiving a lot of heat. So I decided that I wanted to dive a little deeper into this. Okay. So I started investigating, looking around, and I say, wow, I see what's going on here. So I want to let me see, I want to particularly review two. Which one is this? Yes, plane tickets. Yes, so I want to review two things and give my opinions on them and see what's going on here, and who, what, where, when, why, and how. Where is this shade coming from? Because the shade is coming from a lot of different directions. So I want to check it out. Okay. So this right here is a popular content creator by the name of Willie D from Ghetto Boys fame, the popular rap group in the, I'll say, mid 80s to early 90s. Now a podcaster or broadcaster. He had some words on this. So let's look at his intake, see what he has to say. And as we go along, I'll interject my input and see how that works. Okay, so let's check it out. We're gonna share this. We want everybody to hear the words of wisdom coming from the former gangster Ghetto Boys rap group, now somewhat liberal podcaster. Okay, so let's share his screen and let's see what Willie D has to talk about. Let's go.
What's up, family? We have a guy who went to the DR, Dominican Republic, and filmed himself pulling a chick. He shared his video so he could show the guys in the US how easy it is to pull a chick in the DR. But he forgot one little small thing. He forgot to tell them how much he paid.
Okay, let's investigate this. Let's watch.
That's right. We know he paid for it, fam. You don't have to waste money on plane tickets and Ubers and hotels to buy sex.
Okay, let's dive into that real quick. I want to dissect this as this goes along. I did see that particular video that Willie D is talking about, and I don't know where Mr. Willie D comes to that conclusion that this gentleman was buying sex. It was a group of gentlemen standing outside of a club having drinks. Women were going into the party, into the club, and the gentlemen were clearly turned up, had a couple of drinks, they got the drinks going, and he decided to call one of the girls that was headed towards the party, and she came over, and he got her phone number, okay, and then the girl walked away and continued to go about her business. So I don't know where Mr. Willie D is trying to throw shade on that gentleman who put up that particular video. I don't know where he's insinuating paid for sex. All he did was call a girl over. But I guess Willie D doesn't understand the culture in that country, because in that country, if you call a woman over 8 out of 10 times, she'll come over, because in that country, the women have somewhat respect for the men, no matter what their social status is. I've seen homeless men damn near on the street call over a beautiful woman walking down the street, and out of respect, she'll just come over just to at least listen to what he's saying, even though she has no interest. But Willie D doesn't know about that. But let's continue. So I don't know why he's trying to quote unquote shame the young man that posted this video, because he said nothing about sex. The young man just called the girl over. They exchanged numbers, and he was like, "Look, man, it's women will come over to you. They'll talk to you over here." So let's continue.
You can just, depending on where you live, just walk outside your door and bam. So here's the layout. Dude, he shows he's filming this woman, and he says, "Hola." Like, it's as easy as just saying hola, and here they come to the woman. He says hola, the woman starts walking towards him. And he's like, spin. She spins around, And, for a slow poke, it looks like he's in charge.
He actually was in charge, because if he just said hi, she came over, saw him filming. Obviously, she wanted to be filmed. She went over to him. Maybe she was attracted to the young man, so she went over to him. So actually, he was in charge, sir. But let's see it through the eyes of someone that doesn't like that.
We all know what goes on in the DR.
Okay, so Willie D, you're talking in circles. You said you don't have to go to the DR if you want to buy sex. You could just walk outside of your house, depending on what neighborhood you go, and bam, there it is. So we all knows what happens right outside your doorstep. So you're right. You don't have to go anywhere. You're absolutely right. But why do you have to pin it on the DR? This is really weird. Sounds like a talking point from Wendy Williams or a sisterhood group. But let's continue. How much did they pay him to put him up to this cap?
It's the same in any city in America. If you go to certain places where you know they're out there on the track, if you go out there on the track.
Absolutely right. So why does he have a problem with this gentleman hollering at some shorties in the parking lot outside of a club? And he automatically equates this to paying for sex. Really weird. Let's go.
You can find them and bring them back. It's that simple. As long as you got the money.
So basically, Willie D is promoting prostitution in all reality. So you got to be slow to not really understand he's trying to feed you a word salad. Ow! Talking about as long as you got the money, you can go anywhere and you can meet prostitutes and bring them home. So what the fuck is this about? Let's see.
Now, granted, in certain parts of the world, you can get 2 for 1.
Yeah, like in your backyard, Willie D, like you said. But let's look at this. Let's deep dive, or should I say dive deeper into the shame tactics. Let's check it out.
Hell, you can get 2 for 1 in America on a slow night.
Yes, you're right.
but I'm kind of like, I'm getting a little impatient with these guys who travel these foreign countries, in these countries where the dollar goes a long way.
Why, Willie D? So Willie D, okay, the former gangster rapper, such hits as, I guess, any Ghetto Boys hit, whatever you want to call it. Gotta let a hoe be a hoe. All of those, like the Gangster of Love, where he's, he hasn't particularly been talking about women in such a shining light. Now that he's, I guess, retired from rap, he doesn't want to be Me Too, because a lot of the records that he put out constitute, hey man, they could go back and cancel Willie D. So Willie D is compromised now. Now Willie D is basically a political puppet. And he's getting his strings pulled by the liberal sisterhood. So now he has to join in on shaming men for prostitution, or patronizing in prostitution, I guess he's doing or saying. I'm kind of lost where he's going in this. All I saw was a guy having a good time in the parking lot outside of a club, calling girls over. Willie D is now tired of people that travel to countries where the dollar goes far. Okay. So he doesn't want you to maximize your dollar. Shame on you, Willie D. Ow! Let's continue this buffoonery.
And they're out there tricking, but they're acting like they're getting these women on their own game. Like,
okay. They're out there tricking. Willie D just promoted tricking, quote unquote, when he says you can go right outside your house and go to certain neighborhoods in America. You just promoted tricking, Willie D. Is Willie D's problem like he doesn't want the tricking? Like he doesn't want you to spend your money in other places on tricking? Because he just promoted tricking clearly and said where to go for tricking and all of this other shit. So let's go, Willie D.
They get these women by just showing up. You know, hey, I just showed up.
Now remember, this guy is quote unquote, I guess you deem him as a celebrity. So he's famous. This is Willie D. He's famous. Everybody knows Willie D. Oh, Uncle Willie from the what's the name? The old school rappers, man. We all know these niggas. And another thing, when he says we're tired of, as podcasters and broadcasters, we're tired of you retired rappers becoming podcasters. Because what you're doing is you're taking away opportunities for somebody that didn't have the opportunity to become a millionaire from rapping and all of that other shit, keep rapping, man. Like, stick with the rapping. You know, you got the old school rap shows. Do all that, man. Just stop clogging the lane for people that have went to school to learn broadcasting and things of that nature. Same thing with the NFL and the NBA, man. We tired of you retired ass millionaires that ain't got shit else better to do. You just want to get out the house. So you're gonna go and take a slot up on television. And I understand that, you know best because you played the game. But there were a lot of people that majored in broadcasting that need those jobs. So we tired of y'all mofos cheapening the craft and the art. You bozos, you can speak about the game because you played it, but you don't have skills as far as broadcasting and things of that nature. We don't give a fuck what your opinion is, jackass. We really don't. Keep rapping because that's what we appreciated you for. Okay. For the basketball players, LeBron, we don't care about your political concerns, LeBron. Shut the fuck up and dribble the ball. That's the shit I'm on over here. All right. Let's go. Let's continue with this buffoonery.
I'm an American, a black guy, and they're all over me.
They really are, because I've been to 13 countries. And that's how it goes. So Willie D is maybe upset that, you go anywhere in America and they like, wow, it's Willie D. But the playing field is even when you go other places. So he's mad, apparently, I guess. Yes, Willie D. If you want to use women as the measuring stick for machismo and manhood, I'm not a rapper, sir. I'm not a gold and platinum selling rapper. And yes, I'm sure my lady looks better than yours. And overseas, I've been able to live like a king without having to rap about violence, degrading women. So remember, while Willie D was rapping, telling your sons to go out and shoot people and gangbang, this is the same bozo that was calling your daughters whores and hoes. All right. So now he's Mr. Clean. What a freaking joke. What a clown. Ow! But let's watch Mr. Potato Head continue with this bullshit cap.
I remember when I first went to Azerbaijan, when I first moved to Azerbaijan, I went out and this chick propositioned me. I'm out and she's like, my buddy who brought me to the club, who became my business partner later, he left me at the table with the girl and he went to go dance with her sister. And the chick was like, so, you like me? You like me?
Somebody slapped this man upside his egg head. Ow! So we're talking Willie D, the famous rapper, the quote unquote gangster of love, one of his hit singles from one of his trash albums. Okay. The gangster of love said, and she propositioned me and said, hey, you like me? So Willie D has never been approached by a woman before, is what he's insinuating. This is the first time Willie D has ever been approached by a woman or propositioned. I got news for you, Willie D. Most of you rap bozos were not propositioned because you have quote unquote game. You were propositioned because they know you have money. Spoiler alert, jackass. Women like money. Okay? But let's continue and listen to this cap. Like, he was so shocked a woman came up to him and propositioned him. Remember, he just now said he was out with a friend, and this is the sister of the friend. So the sister of the friend was a hoe, goddammit. He act like this is the first time he's ever been approached by a hoe. What a bozo. Come on, man. What a joke. Who's pulling this bozo strings?
I said, so far so good. She said, oh, you want to like be with me again? I said, I don't even know you. She was like, and I'm just playing along, She's like, I don't even. I said, I don't even know you. She said, you think I'm pretty? You think I'm pretty?
What a jackass. I got news for you. Anybody that's a tourist and a male tourist that's single that travels, there is a possibility that you may be approached by ladies that are trying to sell their services to you. And that goes for foreigners traveling to the United States as well. I've been approached by thoughts on the street outside the mall while getting into the car. There's thottery everywhere, and there are women trying to sell themselves everywhere. Okay. And what's so funny is that's actually legal in most parts of the world for those men that don't travel and for those people that don't know about travel. It's illegal in America, I guess, except in Las Vegas, and there are a few places that women selling their service is a thing. But just look on Instagram, look up any quote unquote IG model, and if you jump in the DM, the price is right. So I don't know what the purpose of this guy trying to he wants you to do all the quote unquote tricking, I guess, in the black community because he's trying to police black men penises. I guess it's Willie D. D stands for Dick Police. He's trying to police penises with his egghead self. Let's listen to this buffoonery. We're laughing harder at you, Dumbo.
I said, yeah, I think you're pretty. She said, give me $100. I said, $100 for what? She said, you want to be with me? I said, no, I ain't say all of that. She said, come on. I said, and I ain't got no money anyway.
She knows you're Willie D, dude. Hello, the brother, your friend, your homeboy is with her sister, so obviously, there's a little bit of name throwing, like, yeah, that's my dude, the rap dude. You know what I'm saying? She's like, oh shit, you rolling with rap niggas? Okay. She's telling the sister, hey man, he's in some bucks. She like, he ugly, he got an egghead. He looks like someone that doesn't quote unquote have game. If you had game, Willie D, and you was the gangster of love, she would be throwing it to you for free. She wouldn't be trying to charge you. So let's look at it that way, gangster of love. You had no game. She had to charge you, sir. He's so dumb, he didn't even realize that. Crazy.
She said, no. You a rapper.
I just proved my point. What a jackass. He just talked himself into a circle. So he's mad that, I guess, other men get treated like rappers when they go places because the dollar goes further. So that's why he's tired of them. Oh boy, man. It's called hate. The playing field's level, Mr. Willie D, and other places. Your star power doesn't work all around the world. But your man is throwing that weight out there because he has no game either. So he has to say, hey, man, we rappers, man. That's how your man pulled his sister, actually. All right. And she's like, who's your egghead friend? Oh, no, that is the rapper. And they were like, so while she was telling you 100, she was telling your other boy with no game, throwing, we're rappers around. She was telling him 200. Hello. Ow! So who got game and who don't, Mr. Willie D? They're charging you for it. Just like they're charging most of these other bozos for it as well. Okay, you're a rapper. Whatever, homie. Straight cap. This is an episode of Straight Cap right here. You know what I'm saying? So let's give Willie D a round of applause. No disrespect, Willie D, but you're a clown. And just listening to that just proves it, sir. So go back to the sisterhood and tell them we're going to reject. We're going to sell that. We're not going to buy. We're going to sell that. Okay? We're going to sell that, Willie D. Ow! Unbelievable. This quote unquote game. You gotta be kidding me, man. You just gotta be fair use, by the way. That was trash, but we had to put Mr. Silly D on blast. We like to go to another, because that's really simp behavior. That's simp-like behavior. We don't condone that type of behavior. Like we definitely don't condone men on the take trying to shame fellas for traveling. Like who do you work for, man? Who are you? Well, why are you trying to tear black men down? I don't get it. Celebrity, quote unquote celebrity, who once encouraged your children to gangbang, encourage you to call women hoes. Now he's telling you, I'm mad. I don't want you going somewhere where your dollar stretches, having a good time with the hoes. You're tricking. I want you to do all your tricking in the hood with LaQuisha and them. We want you to spend $20 on a lap dance or whatever the fuck they charge in the whole spot instead of $2. Besides having a great time, all that other good shit. So shame on you, Mr. Willie D, for trying to throw shade on that young man in the video who clearly was not trying to buy women or anything of that nature. He obviously had game, because if he can call a stranger over and say, hola, hey, come here, shorty, and she came over, and he said spin around, and she spun around and did it, he was clearly in control of the situation. He took her phone number and sent her on her way like a gangster nigga should. Okay, big up to that nigga, because he did it like it was supposed to be done. And you have Mr. Potato Head coming trying to throw shame on it because he didn't need to have a platinum album in order to do that. So shame on you, Mr. Willie D. Stick to the rapping, because we don't give a shit about your hot takes on what folks are doing on the internet. You sound like a biatch. You sound like you're compromised by the sisterhood. But we already know. So it is what it is. On that note, holla at your man. This is how we do it. Sunday Night Smoke Podcast. Man, listen. The countdown is on. And we out of here. Till the next episode. Wide world of simps, man. Clowns. And I'm going to keep shitting and clowning all y'all, because that's what you get. Okay?
Well, come on, Slam. No wonder why I blocked you. That's absolute insanity.
It don't got shit to do with you, bro. Your name is Ace World. Your show is called the Sunday Smoke Podcast. That's how I know you're a little bitch, because it don't have nothing to do with that. So I'm going to keep using smoke, and my podcast is not called a smoke show. My Tuesday show is called the Sunday Night Smoke Show. That show that we talk about.